Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the ASOTV podcast for the Originals Season 4 finale, The Feast of All Sinners. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me is Dom and Nikki and Kim.
Ah.
Hello.
Hi.
So this was a thing. I don't know how I feel about this.
Because the ending felt like a series finale.
That's what I said.
It didn't. I was left being like checking my phone because I was watching on my phone if there was any more, because the way they left it was like, what? Like it wasn't even like the rest of the we had the penultimate episode last week, which it was okay. And then he led into this episode, and I was just like, I feel like it could have been better. And this whole season was really good because it was really condensed and it was to the point because it was a shorter season. But this episode didn't do it for me at all.
It felt like a cop-out ending.
It did.
Yeah, it felt like
a little flat.
I was talking to Nikki about this about 3 or 4 hours ago. It felt kind of like an episode that was written and filmed before they knew the fate of Season 5. Like, it's an episode they could, if the show wasn't renewed for Season 5, it's an episode that could have ended the series. Not well, mind you.
No.
But it could have done it storyline-wise.
Yeah.
And I mean, hell, it would have been what we got, and we would have had to have been happy with it.
All I know is I called Hope going to the school.
I think we all did. We all agreed with you.
Oh, I called that way back when.
We agreed with you.
You called that...
I think it was the first episode.
No. It wasn't the first episode. You called that during the Vampire Diaries. Before the season even premiered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as we saw the one
school.
part, the school, and then the letter from Klaus, we knew
it
was.
It was the letter from Klaus that did it. It's like, oh my god, Hope's gonna totally end up at that school. Like,
I actually want to go back now and watch the Vampire Diaries to see if Hope was seated there somewhere that we didn't notice, because at the time we didn't
or a child.
We didn't know the child actor.
Yeah.
You know,
because
she could have been there, and that may have subliminally made me think that. So I have to go back and look now, but I don't think she was. But
no, I don't think she was either. They showed some other kids, but still, I mean, there could have been a kid in the background that had the same long reddish hair or something. But I saw her with Klaus's kids, and I was just like, oh, they're the same age. Actually, I hope it's a little bit older, but it's cool.
It's awesome. So, last week we ended off with Vincent coming up with a plan pulled out of his ass. You know, I can totally fix the problems. I can stop the hollow, but you're not going to like it. It's going to be in the end of your family.
Vincent, it's only a really poorly applied Band-Aid. Just saying, because Season 5's coming.
It's really...
If we have to deal with the hollow for Season 5, I'm going to be really upset.
Well, we're
not to say that the hollow can't be a small portion of it, but if the hollow is the overarching thing again,
I don't think it would
I'm
be.
walking away.
I honestly feel like this whole curtain they put over Elijah's memories is going to become an issue. I think it's going to be a big thing next season.
Yeah, because he's not. He may have control.
He's not wearing a suit. That's the first problem.
So.
And usually when he's playing piano, he's very poised and stiff. You see him bob into the music. I'm like,
but
Well, you remember they raced years of anguish and problems and anger and just all the dirt and the crap
Like, he's not OCD anymore, guys.
They erased all memories of his family and all that crap, so he's pretty much... Yeah, apparently, suits her because at the time Finn was gone, so he was the eldest of the family. He had to put out an impression or whatever, right? So suits.
I mean, that might have been one of the reasons, but I think it was because he had to be the one that kept things together, so he had to look the part. Like, he did a lot of democracy and negotiating because Klaus was just a friggin' idiot. So he had to step up and try and clean up the messes. And, if you look good, then people are going to be like, all right, you're a little bit more trusting than your brother.
And as was mentioned, he, was always calm and reserved playing the piano. This was a much more jazzy interpretation. I don't know how to put it.
More Orleans, I guess.
Yeah, that's going to definitely be a big problem, though. No, it wasn't something I saw coming, but...
The thing is, like, we know that, Marcel's not an original, and he needed a little extra help from Vincent to help compel him. I feel like that compulsion's going to slowly break away, and we're going to have ragey Elijah coming back, and it's going to start stirring up some shit. And people, and like Rebecca and Klaus, they're going to have to come back. And that's when the Hollow's going to be like, hey, look, I'm coming back together.
Who was it that said? Was it the three of them, Vincent, Elijah, Marcel, standing there? Which one of them said, how do we know we're not just creating some new monster by doing this?
Marcel
said it. Yeah, so that's... Now that I think about it, and we're talking about it, it seems like some pretty heavy foreshadowing.
I can't stand how Klaus made Elijah promise, oh, don't come save me. We can't be together. And then Klaus is the one that walks into the bar and like
it's imperative you never see each other ever again.
It was a last seeing his brother for the last time kind of apparent.
Yeah.
Okay, so I read an interview thingy that they were discussing and asked some questions about the end of this season, moving into the fifth season, without spoilers. That you're definitely going to see they pretty much said that they doubt you'll not see Elijah and Klaus together again. That it was actually a time jump, so it wasn't right away. This is over time. That Klaus has reappeared into Elijah's life for a split second, just to kind of give that last "is my brother doing okay?" and then I'm gone forever.
And I see Klaus doing that because he's grown so much as a character, and now family actually means what he's been saying and preaching all these thousands of years. Like, it's more than power now for him. So for him to make sure that Elijah's doing okay as his empty self, I guess. Like, I thought family was everything to Elijah at that point, but he seems to be doing okay. What I would have wanted to know is, they had to be away from Hope. I wonder if he's ever like physically checked in on her, or it's just through Alaric.
I couldn't see why he hasn't.
I would have liked seeing her reading a letter from him or something. That would have actually closed things up for me a little bit more.
Yeah.
But this does open the possibility of Caroline coming in next season.
Yes,
it does.
And Alaric, more Alaric, and maybe we'll see the girls, his twins. Like, I'd like to see more interaction that way.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more peeks into Mystic Falls, because that's kind of where the school is. So.
Yeah, I would love to see. Alaric on the show. More.
Not like a series, like a guest appearance here and there. More than just one episode. But I think they're going to keep it short again because of they slotted it for the same part of the year again for airing. So it's probably going to be 13 episodes again.
And we discussed it last week, I think, or the week before. 13 episodes works for this show. Yeah, I think anyway. I think
it works fine. Overall, for most TV shows that are shortened seasons like this, it feels better.
Well, since we're covering this section now, let's get them all out of the way. Rebecca is partying up in New York City. She didn't bother to come say hi. And...
What a snobby. Never mind.
I know, right? Marcel.
If I knew they were filming there, I would have went and visited.
Yeah, but the chances they were actually filming there, or they just like post-edited another city street wherever the hell they filmed the show. New Orleans.
It looked pretty New York, though.
It did look very New York.
It's possible they flew this like, okay, 5 minutes, we're gonna film on this one random street.
That's a waste of money. They definitely...
They do it all the time, though.
They do. They really do. They film all kinds of crazy shit.
How do you know that Claire Holt wasn't just like, I'm going shopping on Fifth Avenue. If you guys want to send a film crew over real quick, you know, and fly.
I mean,
hell, it doesn't even need to be fancy. They don't even need to be fancy. You got a guy with a camera, a sound guy, and that's about it. And, you know, someone to yell cut.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they filmed with less. And, you know...
It was done on Rebecca's smartphone.
Exactly. It could have been done on... Cameras on phones are really good.
Yeah, my smartphone could do that. Just saying.
Get some really high-quality footage. Yeah, you know, it's difficult to keep track of all the shit they were filming. They filmed like 16 takes of people running a marathon at the park across the street over the weekend. Completely random. Alright, so Rebecca winds up with Marcel, who shows up and says, yeah, hey, guess what? You know, him and Sophia are donezo.
I would have liked to see that also cleared up, because him saying it doesn't mean anything. What the fuck happened to Sophia?
She said that she was going somewhere. I forget exactly where, but they said that she's going somewhere, and she asked Marcel to go.
Oh.
And he said not.
And yeah, he decided not to, so he went to see Rebecca instead.
I think it's all of these emotions and stuff that got to him. There was a lot of there literally was a lot of emotion stuff. There was going on and a lot of emotional roller coaster. That's why I had a lot of high hopes for the ending, and then it went.
Yeah. So is this the first time Marcel's actually kind of like lived out of New Orleans? Because
yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
he left it for her.
Did he leave New Orleans to Klaus then? Is Klaus
okay?
There,
so
or is that Elijah?
here's a little more information I got out of that interview. It was a cut scene that apparently they're that he was not happy that it was cut out of, but they did. Which would have cleared up this whole situation. It was right after what happened with Elijah, and he decides that he's going to leave New Orleans. That New Orleans needs a new king, and he gives it to Vincent.
That would have clarified a lot.
That would have definitely made it a bit better. Definitely.
Now, keep in mind, because it didn't air, it's not canon, so that may not be what happens.
Yeah.
So they can go wherever they want with it.
Yeah,
but
maybe Elijah gets power hungry.
Hey, that's probably...
All I know is that Cole got one of the happiest endings on the show.
That was another thing that was addressed in the interview, was that literally the one that got the most happiest ending was Cole.
Yeah.
He's marrying Davina.
Make this into earrings, a necklace, and one massive engagement ring.
That thing was huge. That was like the Hope Diamond.
Yeah.
Probably was the Hope fucking Diamond, knowing Cole.
And that guy didn't even like phase him. He's like, okay.
It's like he's looking at it under a lens. He's like, oh yeah, that's it's just like done, like no problem.
I want to see what the Hope Diamond looks like right now.
I will crack this diamond into many smaller diamonds.
Isn't it a different color?
Yeah, it's like, I think it's supposed to be blue.
Yeah,
it's blue, and it's like this big.
Yeah.
It's like almost big as a softball. Or a hardball. Yeah.
But it's an actual diamond, which is why it was so special or whatever.
Well, yeah, because diamonds come in different colors.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
No, that was like, I was watching it, I'm like, oh, don't like you much, Cole, but still, this is really great for you.
It's like, when are you going to get here? I'll be there soon, with gifts. Well, there's a wedding ring. That's right, engagement ring.
Yeah.
How sweet.
I like to know where they're living.
Well, Cole was in California when he was doing this.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't,
that.
It doesn't mean that they're living there. He could have just sought out a crazy fucking jeweler.
Yeah.
Or it could mean he's close. to wherever.
Maybe Davina is gonna be an actress in LA.
I don't know, but we know they're there, and then we have Rebecca and Marcel in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that leave Elijah?
Elijah must still be in New Orleans.
No, Elijah was in France.
Oh, was he in France?
Yeah, it said
okay.
He was playing the piano in France, and that's where Klaus was checking in on him.
Klaus, where might Klaus be?
He must be just going all over the place then. He just must be keeping
we know Hope is in Mystic Falls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming Haley's not too far behind.
Oh no, Haley's probably.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that that check that we saw at the end of the Vampire Diaries was paying for Hope's tuition.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
And then some.
And then some.
No, I could see Klaus being the traveler. I think isn't Freya and Haley, no, Freya must still be with Keelan.
Yeah, she almost bit the dust.
She almost became a vampire.
Now,
because Cole's just a lollygagger.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that she didn't go through with it anyway to allow Klaus to be with his daughter.
I thought maybe that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So did I. But apparently not.
I figured either Elijah or Klaus was going to go hollowless, but no.
I mean, she did say that she wasn't going to give up and she was going to find a way to defeat the Hollow once and for all. So, as Rebecca stated, typical Mikealson stubbornness.
Mm-hmm. Well, Freya that'll probably be the half of next season is Freya trying to figure that shit out.
You know what? I don't think the Hollow is going to last even that long. I think by the 3rd episode they'll have the Hollow dealt with, and it'll be dealing with Elijah.
Well, we're getting the same treatment this coming season for the originals as we did this season. It's going to be started in the end of the normal season schedule, so it's going to be like this 13-episode thing again. I really like that format, so...
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
More time to enjoy it.
So I think they'll defeat the Hollow by mid-season.
Definitely by mid-season.
I'm saying earlier.
Then you know what? I can give you that. It's going to be within the first half of the season. Hell, it could be in the second episode. I don't fucking know.
Because I feel like there's going to be another time jump. And we're going to get an older Hope.
No, I like this actress.
I do too.
I do too, but
She's fantastic.
I feel like
they can do a 1-year time jump. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
She'll be a year older.
It's like, that scene on the street when she's setting all shit on fire. It's like, okay, here's your motivation. You're throwing fireballs at people.
She's probably like, yeet.
She's like 9-year-old's like, okay, pretend I want to set all these people on fire and I'm throwing fireballs at them. Okay. And they scream action. She's just like, ah!
I don't know, there was that point where Haley's like, Hope, I know you're in there. And she's like, you think you can stop me? And the way that she ended that sentence, it was more of a statement, than a sassy question, I felt like there should be a sassy question, not whatever she said. It just felt weird.
Mm.
But the actress did pull it off.
The Hollow is very weird. Like a clinical psychopath. I mean, that's like one of the things they said, she was nuts.
I think what they need to do is just make her immortal.
Yeah. That
because I think what her issue is because she is immortal. That's why they can't get rid of her. If they somehow make her immortal, even if she still is powerful, they can kill her.
Yeah, definitely. They'll figure something out. They always do.
It's more like, how is she immortal? I mean, I guess because she's not.
It was the curse that she, when they were trying to kill her, and then she cursed them, and then at the same time she connected herself to their magic and the ancestors and all that jazz. So
yeah, a lot of crazy hoodoo.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that happened midway through this episode, and I miss when Klaus is being that, you're all gonna die, and he's just being some sarcastic prick. I also love that Elijah just threw a fucking flaming wine bottle at a bunch of witches.
Yeah.
Fancy way to do it. Yeah. I don't know, it just... I'm having a hard time talking about this episode because all the action just seems so rushed in the beginning.
It really did. That was another issue of mine, was the pacing of the episode.
It's like, okay, so the Hope
there was clearly things that I missed.
I mean, in 15 minutes, the Hollow, or Hope Hollow, she resurrected Dominic, who I didn't think I would miss, but I somewhat missed him. He could have been a decent sub-villain. Resurrected Dominic, set some streets on fire, recruited a whole bunch of witches to their cause, then gets knocked out by, some kind of crazy dust. Dominic gets re-stabbed to death. Congratulations on being alive for like an hour again. Good for you.
You deserved it.
Then Klaus breaks a snow...
He beat up Josh.
Yeah.
He deserved it.
Exactly. He beat up Josh. He did deserve it. Klaus breaks a snow globe, traps all these witches, and Elijah Molotovs them. It's like Hollow is subdued. I don't know, I was expecting more of a climactic craziness than what we got. Than just like a little, sleeping powder just...
Well, I think anything more than that would have hurt Hope.
Yeah.
True.
And that's what we were trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, everybody's got to be separate. And one thing that I really sucks is Elijah and Haley were finally making things, or attempting to make things work.
Yeah.
Meh. I don't know. I don't know, just... The more I talk about it now, the less of a good finale this seems. Like, initially, after watching it, I'm like...
It usually works the other way for us. We're like, we watch it and we're like, oh, that was a terrible finale. And then we sit down together and we're like, yeah, this is so much better now that we've talked it through.
We talk it through, we bring up good points, everybody like, oh, I didn't notice that. And then, we wind up liking the episode better. The more I talk about it, the more I dislike it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened with Vampire Diaries. Like, you guys were all coming in hating it, and I was like, it's perfect! And I explained it, and you guys were like, alright.
And we talked it
through.
Actually
not as bad.
Yeah, we talked it through, and we were cool with it. This episode, we're talking it through, and I am very not cool with it.
Yeah. Well, I'm almost positive I read somewhere that they did film the finale before they knew if the show was getting renewed. I'm almost positive that that's the case.
So that's probably why it seemed very much like they did exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah. To leave it it's like open-ended, but at the same time, it doesn't conclude anything. So I don't think it would have made a good series finale. It would have pissed people off.
It would have, but that is, in my opinion, the most tactful way. If you want the show to go on, and you don't know if it's gonna go on, leave it open-ended. Don't, make anything final or whatever.
Because there's always room to come back later.
Yes.
If they wanted to do like a one-off special or a TV movie or something, it leaves room for them to do that. Like, yeah, it's kind of, but like, this is not the same situation as like the Vampire Diaries, where a bunch of the actors were like, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We had Ian Somerhalder. We had the actress who plays Bonnie. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. Cat Grant. She, she was like, I'm done. Elena had already left the show at this point. She came back just for the fan service. Mm-hmm. You had three of your main actors right there, and you can't really leave that open to be like, yeah, we'll come back and do a TV movie later, because three of your actors aren't going to be around for it.
Yeah.
They totally could do that, and every single one of them would be on board.
Yes.
Even Claire Holt, who has left the show how many times and come back,
And she was back for a lot more of the season than she was gone for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Cole, Nathaniel. He irritated me this season because I was just like, we got him back, and then he's gone, and then he's back, and then he's gone, and now he's back. And I'm just like,
he would have loved
you did this to us in 13 episodes. You left and came back like 4 times.
He would have loved to be in every episode. It was the writers. Like, he's said many times that he's like, I would have loved to be like one of the main characters being in every episode, but that's not what they had me. Like, my character was not slotted for that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that's
rant
also
at the writers.
That
Julie,
is
what are you doing?
Also, the character though, he's very flighty. I mean, it's perfect opportunity for character growth and everything. Have Cole want to settle down, and which I guess is kind of what he's doing with Davina right now.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're going to live in a new house every 2 months for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, they will.
I don't know.
And she's an ultra powerful witch. She can probably conjure money.
Right.
I think Cole has enough money for the both.
Yeah. He could pull another diamond, out of wherever the fuck he pulled that first one from.
He probably went into a cave himself and just kind of like, with his finger, chiseled it out, and I mean, even in the most dangerous of caves, he just.
I'm pretty sure they had all of those jewels and something laying around.
No, I'll tell you what he did. He grabbed a bunch of coal. Get it? Coal.
Yeah.
And compressed it with his hands.
Yeah.
He made diamond with his bare hands.
You guys just brought up like 3 random thoughts in the span of 30 seconds.
Finger chisels and cold compression. What else was the third one?
Okay, the first one was, can a super powerful vampire chisel through rock with his bare hands? The third question was, can an original vampire create enough pressure to compress coal into diamonds? I don't think they could. The other question that was randomly in, because sometimes diamonds are found in these environments, what happens to an original vampire if you throw them into a volcano?
They burn. Because they burn with fire.
They don't die to fire.
No, but like if you're submerged in lava.
Lava is hotter. The melting point of lava is higher than the melting point of a human. So
they swim. It's okay.
I don't know where
that laps.
Yeah, the backstroke. 2 vampires doing if they fall in a volcano. The backstroke.
The backstroke.
No, they do the dog.
It's like a really bad joke.
The frog or whatever.
Yeah, that was my point. Thank you.
Well, it's one of those dad jokes.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was a random stupid question that just popped into my head, and it's like, I have to ask it.
Yes, coal compression. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we got it. Thank you.
Also,
we ignored it, but we got it. Thank you.
How many times has that church been set on fire?
Not
no
enough.
Shit.
Well, they should just knock it down by like seriously. I hope we come back next season and it's not there. I hope it's gone and they put up like apartment buildings.
It's the same church that was in that episode of Bones.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Huh.
They use that same church for a lot of shit.
Yeah.
That church is probably one of the only few really good-looking church sound stages.
I'm pretty sure that church has been used in Supernatural at one point.
Probably has.
I think we have talked about that. I think we realized it has been.
I mean, I love that Supernatural. It's the exact same set for every single sleazy hotel room they stay in. They just, randomize the furniture. But
except the 3-star that they.
Yes, except for that.
Yeah.
That was different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be Googling after this how many different things that church has been used for.
Mm-hmm.
It's good information to know, I guess.
Find out it was somehow on an episode of Star Trek or some shit.
And one of their holodecks.
Wow. That means that stage has been around for a long ass time.
Very true. I don't know. You guys have anything else you want to talk about for this episode? Because I'm saddened.
I mean,
it was an okay finale, but it just didn't wow me.
I wasn't wowed at all. I think I'm more knowing what's going on. I'm excited for season 5. I think that's what their whole game was, to be like, okay, we are having a season 5, and this is what we're leaving you with. But we know that the family's eventually going to come back together. So how that's going to happen is what's the interesting part for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously going to be, if they do a time jump, it's going to be a couple of years. I hope it's not that big of a time jump, but...
No. I mean, I'm figuring 6 months to a year. Maybe. I mean, that's at least.
Yeah, I could probably see that.
I want to see more of the school. I want to see more of Alaric and possibly Caroline. Maybe we'll even get Stefan in there. Who knows? Because we know that...
I think Paul Wesley said he was done with acting after Vampire Diaries.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Like, done with acting completely?
Yeah.
Weird.
Huh.
Okay. To each his own. I mean, he probably wants to settle and have a family with Miss Haley because they're together, so...
Well, I think he was moving more in the role of, like, director-producer.
That's what I was thinking, because he did do a bunch of that.
He filmed a bunch of episodes for Vampire Diaries.
Didn't he direct like a quarter of the last season?
I think so.
He did.
He did a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way more than he's ever done. Usually it's like, one episode a season, but he did like 3 or 4 last season.
Then they were good episodes, so hey, if he's good at it, go for it.
Even Ian did a couple, so that was good too.
Happens pretty often.
Yeah.
I got nothing else.
I don't know. I usually we go on and on about season finales, but like
it was kind of straightforward and quick and
like Mike said, like some of it was rushed. It seemed pretty rushed in the beginning, and then the ending is wide open. We could speculate for hours, but not much to talk about as far as this episode goes, really.
Yeah, it's like rushed climactic battle. Here's the lukewarm ending for most characters, happy for a couple, and the dangling hooks to leave you open for next season, with possible conflict of Elijah not knowing who the fuck he is.
I can't wait till we see him, that red door opening again, and all his memories start rushing back in, and he goes completely psycho.
He's gonna get all his memories back, and he's gonna go completely bonkers.
Not only is he gonna be pissed that I know he wanted to be compelled, and but at the same time, I feel like,
or he's gonna only get some of them back, and he's gonna be as evil as Klaus was.
Yeah,
so
addictive and stuff. Oh boy.
Paul Wesley is currently executive producer on Confessions of a Drug-Addicted High School Teacher Finding Natalie, a limited series on ABC called Pecos, and freeform series Shanghai Summer. So he's doing 3 different things like that, and he's producing a sci-fi movie titled The Convergence.
I heard about that.
And he will be directing an episode of Shadowhunters. So, yeah, he's
moving in that direction.
Yep.
Okay.
That's cool.
Unless Shadowhunters has gotten a lot better, no thanks.
Yeah. Well, on that, I guess that's our show. That's our season for originals.
The season.
Tom, where can they find you?
Next March.
Find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Nikki, where can they find you?
Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyYVENOM24.
And Kim, where can they find you?
Also Twitter at HUFFITY, PUFFITY. The squeaky chair.
Squeaky chair. You can find me on Twitter at Thilligan, also with a squeaky chair. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You could follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games, and our squeaky chairs.
My chair isn't squeaky.
No.
My chair isn't squeaky. That was a squeaky chair I was talking about.
I mean, you two have squeaky chairs.
We do.
I think it's a guy thing.
It's a guy thing. Thank you all for watching.
Oh my god.
Sounds like a door open.